Hi there guys, and welcome back to the workshop. So today's video didn't quite go as planned. I was hoping to get the lightsaber all finished off, but part way through filming that we had an issue with the lathe. So I've had this lathe probably about a month and a half now, and unfortunately I think the motor's gone. So I'm not 100% sure because I haven't fully stripped it down yet. But I've been in contact with Warco customer services, and going by what happened and the faults that I had, like all of a sudden it just stopped working, took a cover off, and you could feel the motor was really hot. So Warco have sent me a replacement motor. They reckon it's probably that, but I won't know for sure until it's fitted. But that's what today's video is going to be all about. It's going to be showing you guys how to strip down the lathe, replace the motor. So if this happens to you, you'll sort of have like a guide of how to do it, because I know obviously now I've had the fault. You've got Aid's workshop on YouTube, he's also uses this Warco lathe and he's had a similar fault, so it might be an issue that these lathes have. The lathe itself does use a brushless motor, so whether or not that's a contributing factor, you know, maybe the brushes have worn out prematurely, but you know, a month and a half, I wouldn't expect for this lathe to be wearing out that quick, or the motor especially. So I was a little bit annoyed about that, but the customer services were so quick, so responsive. I had a new motor here within like 2-3 days I think it was, so I can't fault them for that. But yeah, this video today is basically going to be showing you, again like I said, how to strip it down and replace it if you need to. So the first thing you want to do before you do anything else on the lathe is go subscribe to the Joe Gardner channel. That is a must. So after you've hit that subscribe button, I would personally start off with taking your tailstock off. So literally just unlock it, and I've already taken the bolt out of mine, so mine just slides straight off. So the tailstock out the way, everything is a bit easier to get to. So making sure you've disconnected the back power, because you're going to have your hand quite close to the chuck. You don't want that for some reason just coming on. So next thing to do is we're going to take the panels off. So we're going to take the back panel off, the panel on the side over here, which just covers up all the gears, and there's a back access panel to get to the electrics. So to start off with, on this panel, this is the back panel, you've got 2 screws, Phillips heads, one there, one just down below. And you've also got an Allen cap head just down here. I think it's a 5mm Allen key. Once you've undone those 3 bolts, you can easily now remove the back guard. Oh look, someone has conveniently wrote subscribe on the back. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So with that panel now removed, you can see the back of the motor here. Obviously we're not going to be able to pull it out through the back because there's just no room. So to remove the motor, we're going to have to go out through the front. So I've already unbolted the lathe off the bench, so I'm now going to spin the lathe round and give you a much easier view of what we've got to remove. Right, I've got the lathe all spun around now to make it a lot easier to get to. So remove these 2 thumb screws. That can give you access to the gears. So if you've got one of these lathes and you haven't taken this panel off yet, this is basically where all your gear set and everything is for doing screw cutting. Down here, this is the motor, which basically transmits the drive up to this idle pulley. This idle pulley has then got 2 sort of belt sizes on it, one for high, one for low speed. And then yeah, that just transmits it through to the headstock and down the change gears. So what we need to do, we need to get this big black plate off. That will then give us access to all the motor and all the bits that we need to get access to. So to start with, I'm going to loosen off this adjustment screw, which that basically winds the tensioner in and lets you adjust all the belts. So with that slack now, first of all we can remove this belt. So there we have it. That belt is removed, and also we can remove this belt now. That belt does the motor to idle pulley. So we have both of those removed. I think they're also the same size belt, which looks very handy. So we have that pulley all removed. I'm just going to wind this screw back in just to keep it all in place. just so it doesn't spin around. So it doesn't really matter what order you do this in next, but I'm going to start off with unbolting this access panel on the back here. So that is held in by 6 3mm bolts. I'll say 3mm bolts. 6 3mm cap-headed bolts. I think they're like an M4. With this panel removed, it'll give you access to all the electrics and everything inside. Right, that is that done. So right, we can pull that down, and now with all that disconnected, we've then got to disconnect this like electric switch. So to do that, it's got 2 lock nuts on here, 14mm. Undo the first one. You have to wind it all the way off, and then undo the second one. So with these lock nuts removed, you can then push the switch through to the inside. The switch will then come through on the inside, and just tuck it out the way so it's not particularly like in the way sort of thing. Right, so the next thing I'm going to do, using a 3mm Allen key, there's a little grub screw in the motor pulley. You just undo that. It shouldn't be massively tight. You don't have to bring it all the way out, just undo it a fair way so it's, the end's hanging out. And this might be a bit tight. Oh, that's very tight. Right, if it's tight like mine is, you might have to get like a little lever bar or something just behind there. Before I do that, I'm going to mark up on the shaft where it is, just so I know the exact position to put it back. Just use a little scribe, I think. That way, when I put it onto the new shaft, I can roughly see how far I need to get it on. Right, this pulley's actually on there a lot tighter than I thought it would be. So I'm just using a lever bar. There we go. It was actually quite hard with a flat-headed screwdriver, but if you've got like a lever bar or something, shouldn't be too bad. Right, so we need to keep the pulley and the woodruff key, just set that to one side, because we will be needing that in a bit. Right, so you've now got these 6mm cap-headed bolts. They hold this big black plate on, and at the bottom you've got 4mm cap head bolts. They basically hold the motor onto that. So I think I'm going to start by undoing them. Crack them off. That should, after they're undone, make the motor loose. Yeah, there you go. So that motor is now loose on there. Because it's a flanged motor, it bolts on there. Some motors will bolt on underneath, but this bolts on here. So shall undo them. So we now have one loose motor. I've also undone this clamp bolt here and just swung the change gears out the way. Just might make it easier in a minute when I've got to remove this plate. So how many of them have we got? So just 3. 1, 2, 3. It looks like there's only 3 of these bolts to undo. So these are 6mm cap heads. So these basically hold this big plate on. I don't know what the technical term is for this plate, but basically holds the motor and idle pulley. So this is where we shall see the motor. Just support that so there's not all the stress on the bolt. Right, so now we can pull this forward. Okay, just quickly squeeze you in there. So if you can see just behind there, you've got all your earths bolted on there. It feels like there's enough play to leave them in place. So I might be able to just swing that Yeah, we can just swing that out the way and we can just leave that there. So with that panel removed, you should be able to easily pull the motor out now. So it's got one earth connection here, and then the powers go up to this switch. So there's not actually a lot of slack on this cable that goes down. So we're gonna have to remove this switch as well while we're here. First of all, I'm gonna disconnect the earth, and then I'm gonna show you how to take this switch apart and get it pulled down so you can do a bit of work on it. Ooh, bit of a crazy bird's eye view here. So this is the switch that you need to be able to pull out the back. So the knob on the front, which does like forward, off and reverse, if you just pull that towards yourself or wait, that just pops off. Next you've got this little cover, so you've got two little tabs that you can squeeze in. While squeezing them in, if you can get underneath it, you can just prise that off. There it is, that is off. And then there's two screws, two little Phillips head screws. Can this one work? Oh, this one fits in there lovely. So just unscrew them. With them unscrewed, this cover should pull off towards you. Alright, that is off. And now the switch should just come out the back. Easy as that. So with the switch out, we can see that this is the live here. So in there you've just got a tiny little Phillips screw. If you undo that, you can pull the terminal out. And the neutral here crimps into this like joiner. So I don't have any of these crimps to hand, so I'm going to have to cut that and solder them together to get the new wire in. So I'm going to do that and come back when I've got the motor all removed. So I've now got both motors side by side. And spinning this one, you can feel like there's quite a lot of resistance there. Spin that one, it doesn't feel like there's much resistance at all. And it's also making a weird noise, like one of the brushes are touching. So just because we've got it on the bench, I might strip this one down and just see if it's actually like salvageable. Maybe it's just a brush that's come loose, but who knows, we shall find out. So as you've just seen, I pulled the back cover off, and in here is where the brushes are, and oh dear, that brush down the bottom is completely missing. It's also absolutely charred to anything. So that could actually be quite an easy fix and mean we've got a spare motor for in future. But it's probably going to involve that wiring being replaced because both those wires look quite burnt. Yeah, safe to say it's pretty melted. So I'm not going to bore you with the full ins and outs, because to fit the motor it's pretty much this, or it's the opposite of how you removed it really. So if you get stuck at any point refitting it, just go back and watch this video and you should be able to work it out quite easily. So I hope this video has been really informative to you guys. If any of you out there have had a similar fault, it'd be interesting if you dropped a comment below. Just I'd be quite interested to see how many people are actually having this fault with these Warco lathes, and if maybe upgrading to a brushless motor is a possibility. If anyone else has done that as well, please drop a comment below. But for now, go back and watch my previous videos. Please subscribe, like and share, especially that subscribe button, because only 16% of people at the minute watching my videos are subscribers, so I'd really like to get that number up. So yeah, go subscribe, watch some videos, see you in the next one. It's working!